In Volfyirion, you are attempting to destroy your opponent's cities through deck building. The cards give you two of the usual resources, that is money and attack. Money here is, this is attack, not money. And you can use attack to attack other players, but also to buy cards from Volfyrion's lair. This one also has a scrapping power, where if you scrap the card, you get the bottom resource. The round resource is money, and the crystal resource is knowledge, which can be used for a variety of interesting moves. If we take a closer look at Volfyrion's lair, we can see that this card is bought for 2 attack. When you buy it, you can scrap a card from anywhere in your deck, and if your opponent is annoyed with this card, they can pay 2 knowledge to tap it, effectively making it worthless for you until you pay 2 knowledge to turn it back around, and wonder cards stay in front of you during the game. Knowledge can also be used to move Volfyirion around the cards. You can move him from his lair onto a city of your opponent's, and if he's still there at the end of the go, he will destroy that city. That opponent needs to pay 8 to move Volfyirion back to his lair. Cities are interesting in that you can add a building to a city, which just produces a resource and maybe triggers off some more powers. Or you can add a guard, you can add a guard. This increases the defense of the city and will take the first hit that the city takes, unless it's a Volfyirion attack. Lastly, you can use your power, if you get enough, to destroy Volfyirion, and then you take his lair as an extra city, but one that gives you 4 attack every go. For the most part, Volfyirion, I guess I'm saying that right, but probably not, follows fairly conventional deck building standards, patterns, mechanics. It works similarly to Star Realms, for example. Where it is different is in a third resource, and also how you're attacking your opponent. Your 3 cities that you have out in front of you from the start of the game can be fortified with guards and with resource producing buildings, which makes them stronger and more difficult to take out unless Volfyirion himself lands on it and you can't get rid of him for that go. And it's just a different way of doing life points that's a bit different to the standard you have 50 hit points and then you can heal them. So I really like that. I like the added element of Volfyirion himself, the way you can buy these cards, wonder cards from Volfyrion's lair, but you can also use the third currency of knowledge to move Volfyirion either away from your city to back to the cave, or from the cave to an opponent's city. And if that opponent still has Volfyirion on at the end of their turn, then they lose that city regardless of any guards and buildings that it has on it. So that's a really nice way of someone competing without necessarily just going for the strength. The only way to kind of, in the current deck, to add more health to your city is to defeat Volfyirion himself, which is a 16-point damage. Not impossible, but you've got to ask whether it's worth it. Of course, if you do, you grab the lair, but there's going to be no more wonder cards, but the lair gives you 4 strength each go. I like the addition over many deck builders of having cards that generate resources each turn. Yeah, you run into the usual problem of trying to count up and keep track of things, but if you use one resource at a time, it's certainly not any more difficult than Star Realms, Dominion, or anything like that. The wonder cards are great. They kind of stay in front of you, but they can't be directly attacked. They can be tapped or turned off by the opponent's use of knowledge, and that's always a real interesting question. Do you use that knowledge to potentially move Volfyirion, or do you stop them gaining something for their next go, make them have to spend knowledge? Because that could be a good way of stopping them sending Volfyirion to you if that's been their tactic. They work really well. The guards that go on the cities and take the first hit, that works really well. So it's a game that's been really well thought out, really well put together, and even in this starter set you can see the potential for some more trickiness coming in. Another nice thing about the wonder cards that stay in play in front of you is that they often have really powerful powers that you have to discard them out of the game to use, and there's really good use of the scrapping ability. The other thing about the Wonder cards is that's the only way, the main way, shall we say, to scrap cards from your hand. So weaker cards you want out of your hand, when you buy a Wonder, you can get rid of one, but you can get rid of one from anywhere, and I really like that too. I really like the freedom to search through my deck, to search through my hand or the discard pile and just get rid of a card that I don't want anymore. There is, similar to Star Realms and Hero Realms, a kind of, it's not really a faction power kickoff, but some cards will have a strip on the bottom that shows a coloured card, and if you've got another card that matches that, you can kick off that ability as well. So that's nice and not quite as obvious as the factions in Star Realms. So it's something you're going to have to learn, or you're going to have to build your deck as you go with thinking about. It's not just the case of going, I'm going to grab all the red cards, because the red cards might kick off the blue card or the grey cards. So it's just a nice little thing to learn as you play. So I've been really impressed with Volfyirion. It's a nice deck builder with a different feel. I do prefer the versus deck builders where you're attacking people directly. I know you can say there's not much difference between that and going for victory points, but personally I like that feel, and I like the differences that Volfyirion brings in. Volfyirion is going to be on Kickstarter either now, if the link will be below, and it's going to be on there for a very low price, and I really like what Taboola Games are doing with their approach to engagement. So there's 4 cards in the deck I've got which have question marks on, and usually a Kickstarter I'm struggling today. A Kickstarter creator will put that as a higher tier, so you can pay more money to get your face in the game. Taboola Games are putting the most engaged backer. Each for four most engaged backers will get their faces in the game as an added bonus. I think that's a great way to engage. If you like deck builders, if you want to feel something a little bit different in deck builders, a little bit fresh in a game with really nice art and the chance to get your face in that game, then there's very little to put you off backing Volfyirion. So go check it out, follow the link down below, and go check out Volfyrion's creators, Taboola Games, on Facebook for more about the game. Thanks very much for watching Board, Deck and Dice. I'll see you next time.